if you don't need me on
Please.
this.
Oh, hi. We're starting.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Dana Blakeney, for joining me today for this career assessment session.
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and say thank you at the onset. I appreciate your time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have you sign this confidentiality form that says I am not able to discuss our meeting with anybody outside of this room.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and get your signature and consent. And if you could date it as well. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are set on that. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask you a series of questions. Anything you don't feel comfortable answering, just say, I don't feel comfortable answering that, and we'll just move on to the next.
Okay.
Basically, I just want to go ahead and get an idea of what brought you in today
Okay.
to the session.
Well, so I just, medicine's changing. Medicine has changed a lot, and so I think it's kind of a good time to kind of step back and, figure out, do I need to be doing something differently? How can I, deal with the changes in medicine? Right. So I think it's a good time to kind of think through that with somebody else. So
good. I love it. Okay. What are some of the biggest changes you've seen in, let's say, the last year?
I think one of the biggest ones is check boxes. I feel like you don't just go in and see the patient anymore and think through the patient's problem and try to come up with an answer to help them. After you do all that, then you have to look at your forms. Did I check this box? Did I, make sure that this questionnaire is up to date? There's just so much of that kind of stuff.
Right. So it's gotten more technical.
Yes.
And do you feel like you've lost a little bit of the personal connection with a patient?
I don't think I've lost it, but I feel like I don't have the time and energy to put into that because I'm so distracted by the other stuff.
Right.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so what would you say on a given day? How many patients would you see?
Anywhere from 15 to 20, probably.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, a good number. Great. Okay, I want to go ahead and start with your background, if you don't mind telling me where you went to college, med school, where you did your residency.
I went to UT in Austin, majored in nutrition, and then came to UT Southwestern in Dallas.
Okay.
And then I did my residency in family practice at Baylor Hospital in Garland.
You did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And how long was that?
3 years.
Okay. And at what point in your life did you realize I really want to pursue medicine?
Pretty early. I mean, I knew entering college I was going to be pre-med, and I never wavered from that. So coming out of high school,
you did.
I knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So math and science were
They were
your strengths?
They were.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me about your family. Is your mom or dad in the medical field?
My dad's a pharmacist and owned his own pharmacy growing up, and we all worked in the pharmacy, so I was around medicine and, taking care of people.
Right.
And that.
And do you think that kind of inspired you as well?
Probably. Yeah, I think so.
And where did you grow up?
Austin.
Okay. Okay. I always love getting people's background to see where the culture kind of started there. So you'd probably look at that as a factor that entered into your decision, but it was more of a passion. Like, this is the career path I want to go ahead and take.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever feel at any time, I have twice the pressure because I'm a woman in a male-dominated field, or did you feel like it was pretty well balanced?
I felt like it was really well balanced. Mm-hmm. I think maybe 20, 30 years ago there was that pressure, but by the time I was in medical school, I can't remember if it was half and half, but it was pretty close to it if it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. You've already told me what some of your biggest challenges are today. Just checking the boxes, seeing 15 to 20 patients a day. I know you're a full-time mom, wife, you're a volunteer, you're doing it all. At the end of the day, if you have to name the 3 biggest rewards of your profession, what would you say?
Patients are always just the gratitude I get from patients. When you walk into a room and the patient says, "Oh, Dr. Blakeney, I brought my dad to see you because I love you so much," or I've told my friend to come see you, or I went to see another doctor, but I didn't like him, so I'm back here, or I didn't have insurance, and now I'm back. So just those people that keep coming back and refer other people, and
Absolutely.
establish those relationships, that's probably the biggest reward.
And I think that's pretty atypical in medicine. When people say, I really have a great relationship with my doctor, you get the double take, like, wait a second, these are individuals who can spend 3 minutes with me and they're moving on to the next patient.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that's changing. When you look at what patients want from a doctor, rather than where did the doctor train, how qualified are they, what is their personality, it's convenience.
Yes.
I mean, can I see them when I want to see them?
Right.
Are they going to do what I need them to do for me?
Right.
It's kind of shifted as far as what people are looking for in the doctor. We have to shift to accommodate that. So.
Right. Do you see, is insurance a big factor, or is it a challenge right now?
It's not really. I mean, Medicare is kind of the biggest one, because that's where we're having to do these check certain boxes for Medicare patients and make sure we've addressed certain things at the end of the day. So
right, okay. We talked about gender inequality. You've never really experienced that, as you said, it was 50-50.
Yeah.
And then any racial inequality? I mean, obviously you're Caucasian. And did you feel like there was a diversity in med school and during residency? Pretty well balanced, African Americans, Hispanics,
there
Asians?
were not as many African Americans and Hispanics, some, but more Asians, Indians, quite a few Indian background.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obviously from India, not Native American.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. I am looking at John Holland, who developed this career model in 1927, and he had a hexagon of certain personality types, and it's called the RISEC, and the acronym is Realistic, Investigative, Artistic, Social, Enterprising, and Conventional. And you know what artistic and social is. Enterprising, that's pretty well
struck your own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that's me.
Conventional is liking to work by themselves. Or in smaller groups. Yeah, if anything, or just kind of more autonomy based. But realistic seems like that might fit more your personality. Someone who loves to work with science and math and numbers. But investigative as well, because you've got that curiosity. I bet.
Yeah, you have to go. I mean, every day.
Right.
I have a med student with me right now, and she's like, "Family practice is so hard because every day I'm like, wait, lump in the throat. What is that? That could be a million things.
Right.
It's not like surgery where you have one problem.
Right. Just a bunch of questions. So, and that's a motivational factor for you. I bet. Like that sparks a passion. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day that you're there learning something new.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to list any goals or objectives, do you do that on a monthly basis with the staff, with your nurses? I know you work with 3 other doctors.
I mean, we don't necessarily. I mean, we do have monthly meetings as doctors, kind of going over, office, just stuff that's going on in the office.
To keep each other in the loop.
As far as setting goals, I mean, the patients are sitting in patient satisfaction surveys, and you have to have a certain number on those, a certain percentage. So, you're always trying to make sure that you're,
and you guys are actually sitting down and reviewing those.
We do. Yeah, we get the comments back, and so if they're positive or negative comment, we look at those once a month and look at your scores, and would the patient recommend the practice, and
that's impressive.
Where are the low things? What do we need to work on front office, or nurse calling back, or did the doctor explain to me the medicine she gave me, or that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
Yeah,
no, that's impressive, and that's so commendable in the sense that you guys are any tiny glitch you might have, you're fixing it. You're fixing the problem.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't repeat itself.
Yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of people in this profession would just be like, well, if you're not happy, go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's definitely, that's another thing that's changed is 10 years ago, there were no patient satisfaction surveys. Right. You went to the doctor, you got what you got, you know, but it's definitely changed to.
You've got more people watching.
It's kind of like a hotel or a restaurant.
Yeah.
How
was your customer service?
It is.
Right.
It is. It really is.
But
it's a big component of that.
Right.
So.
It comes down to people's, like, this is what they're interested in getting, like you're assessing them.
Yeah.
Like this could be a physical or an emotional issue.
Yeah.
And you've got people who can have some, some somatic symptoms as far as like, I have a headache, a stomach ache. And every time they come see you, you can't find anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's when you start looking up.
Yes, and that's when you say, I can say to you, I have a great psychiatrist.
Yes, exactly.
Do you feel like referrals is a big part of your business?
Yeah, I mean...
It just depends on the day.
When I can't solve the problem.
Right.
I try to do what I can there just to keep it simple. And, patients don't want to go to 2 or 3 other doctors if we can do it in our office. But when I feel like things are getting out of my comfort zone or it's not something I'm qualified to take care of, then I'll send them somewhere else.
Right, absolutely. So you told me what you would change if you could change a couple things as a doctor in today's, evolving, ever-changing atmosphere of the environment. And this is my last question, and I appreciate your time, as I've said. would you go ahead and say to your two daughters who are, oh my gosh, they're 12 and 8, this is the field I'd really highly recommend, or kind of encourage them to look more toward science and medicine? And in 2015, where you don't have as many female engineers or scientists or researchers, anything like that, or is that just something you're just going to let them find their own path?
I mean, I don't think I would ever push it. It's funny today, Allison, she's doing really well in science at school, and so she said, I wish my schedule was just science, math, science team, math team. That's what she said today, and I was like, and that's totally her own thing. So,
right.
I mean, I think that's great that that's kind of what she's interested in, and a good friend of mine who's a doctor, her daughter just started medical school at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, and both her parents are doctors, and now she's starting medical school. So, you know, I mean, I think it's different, but they'll not know anything different. I mean, it's changed a lot from when I trained, but the kids training now, you know, they won't know any different. So, I mean, I think if that's their calling and they want to take care of people, then I wouldn't discourage it.
Well, and especially if that's where her skills and talents lie.
Yeah.
You kind of stop and
you wouldn't be happy doing something else.
No.
So.
And you think about these, you know, kids who are juniors and seniors in high school taking, you know, the interest test. Whether it's a Myers-Briggs or some type of a you know, a skills aptitude test to say, like, where your strengths, where your weaknesses. And then before they go to college, do you want to do med school, grad school, law school, no school, just go straight into the working world. So you stop and kind of just let it happen naturally. And go from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your time, my friend.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.